forecast is calling for rain, but we're not going to let that stop us. Today we're going to visit Canyonlands Island in the Sky District. Here we go. Hey guys, good morning. It's about 7:30. Already showered up, man. I'm ready to go. So, as I mentioned, the forecast calls for rain pretty much all day, and we did get some rain last night. You know, early hours of the morning. It's rained, and it's very cloudy right now. It's actually kind of cool looking. Clouds over top of those rocks, and up in the distance over the mountains. So, you know, right now it's not bad. We're gonna try to head out in a little bit. Canyonlands is our destination today to start. Hopefully it holds out and doesn't rain too fierce, but you know, we'll see what happens. But we only have eggs to cook, so we're gonna, I think, find a breakfast place and go grab some grub before we head on out to the park. Alright guys, so we just ate at the Moab Diner. It was a quick breakfast and it was a great stop. It was real fast. The food came out in like 5 minutes after we ordered it. I got the breakfast burrito. I love me a breakfast burrito. I tend to go with that when there's one available. I got the chorizo style version of that, and it was great. Dawn had some kind of omelet, some kind of hatch green child omelet. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but it was like a Southwest omelet kind of thing, and she liked it too. So that was good. And it was fast and pretty good price. So I'm actually very full right now. Fortunately, we have about a 45-minute ride before we get to Canyonlands, so try to let that wear off a little bit. So let's get moving. Alright, so for once the weatherman got it right. It is raining, and it's actually very foggy right now. Looking around, you can't see anything. When we first got here, you could sort of see some features with some clouds, but now it's just white. So I don't know, that a lot of Canyonlands, at least the islands in the Sky District, which is where we are, has to do with views, so that might you know, make it difficult to get the full effect, but who knows. Different areas of the district may look different, and that's what the ranger said there, so we'll see. Maybe we'll get some breaks and be able to see some cool stuff. But yeah, as I mentioned, Canyonlands is broken up into districts. The one we're in now is called Island in the Sky. I think that's the one where you drive around the top and you're looking down into the canyons. The other district is the Neels, and we'd like to see that probably, but it's about a 2-hour drive from here, so you know, that's just probably more than we want to do. 4 hours round trip, you know, to get there. We'll probably end up skipping that. And the other section is the maze, and that's the real backcountry, you know, hiking type section, and that's just not our deal. We need a larger clearance, you know, 4x4 vehicle to get back there anyway, so that's not going to happen. But what we did do was stop at the visitor center and get our souvenirs and stamps and information and all that crap. And what we found was that they have this here, and this USB is a driving tour, self-guided driving tour. It was $20 deposit and $5 to actually rent the driving tour. So, you know, we'll go ahead and do that. Takes us through basically the entire out in the Sky District, and we'll, you know, at least if we can't see anything, we'll be able to hear some information and, you know, enjoy it that way. I'll show you the paper got wet. Like I said, it's raining, but these are the different areas where it takes us. So yeah, he said to stick it in and start the tour right in the visitor center, so we're gonna pop it in now and start listening. Like I said, pea soup. Alright, so that was the hike to the Mesa Arch, probably one of the most famous arches or, you know, features at all in this park. You know, I know it's famous for photographs in the morning. If you come at the right time, the sun sets like right in the arch, or rises, sorry, sun rises right in the arch, and it's supposed to be a great photo. It's kind of a famous photo, but you know, we wouldn't have been able to see that even if it was the right time of day. As we were approaching it, we could see the arch, but you know, as is typical with my kind of luck, just as we were walking up, the fog rolled in, so we really couldn't see any of the scenery beyond the arch itself. Now, seeing the arch was still cool and impressive, but you know, it would have kind of been neat to see, you know, the canyon behind it. You know, I think that's probably half the thing. But you know, like I keep telling Dawn, trying to look on the bright side here. You know, this type of weather occurs very rarely in this park, so if anything, maybe we're fortunate that most people never get to see it this way. But anyways, keeping on with the driving tour. So it had gotten like really foggy, and we didn't see anything for most of the drive up here, and we're almost to the Grand View. But you know, fortunately, you know, it looks like it's broken a little bit. We can actually see a canyon view. I was afraid we'd leave a visit to Canyonlands and not actually see a canyon, but here we are. That's definitely not the case. This thing is... Right, here is the view from the Grand View point. It's just incredible. It's cool because it's like a two-stage canyon. It's like you got the one layer down there from, you know, that height, but then down there, you know, it just keeps going. So it's like canyons within canyons, and you know, cool formations within that canyon. It just goes off into the distance and disappears, fading away into the fog. It's very civilized. These are all the different formations and things that you can see from the Green River overlook. And here's what we're seeing.
We won't be seeing today.
Alright guys, this may be the last stop. We've stopped at every other, place along the park here. No, that's not to say that we actually saw it all. We probably saw half of it if we were lucky. But this here is Upheaval Dome. And there's some overlooks, so, trail to the overlooks. I think it said it was a 0.8 of a mile round trip to one of the overlooks. So I'm going to walk that now. Go see what this Upheaval Dome is all about. Alright guys, so there's a loop trail that's long and strenuous, and then there's a just shorter hike to the overlook. There's the distance. I'm probably just going to go the first. Don's hanging back at the car, and I don't want to be gone too long, so let's go check out the first one. Maybe go the second if we feel it, but let's just go see what it's all about and turn back. So, let's see. Right up here is the first overlook. Let's go take a look. Alright guys, so that's Upheaval Dome. That was really cool. I'm glad I made the walk. It's amazing to me that there are things that, are a mystery to science. For all the crap that they figured out, and you wonder, like, how the hell they ever figured that out. They've done that with so much stuff. It's sort of amazing that there are things that they still to this day do not, understand how they were formed or what events led to, something being created or being the way it is. But, the Upheaval Dome is one thing falling in that category. But regardless of how it came to be, definitely is a cool sight to see. So, all right, there's an uphill walk up, so we're going to walk down this hill and back to the car. Let's see what we do next. I drove through some muddy puddles earlier, but if you didn't know any better, you'd think I was doing some off-roading, which definitely was not.
Hey, what are you doing up there?
So the fog's actually thinning out in this particular part of the park, so I was thinking that Upheaval Dome may be our last visit here, but there's this rock formation called Whale Rock that we drove past and saw, and it's long and sort of looks like a whale. Pretty cool. I'm gonna walk over. There's a trail that takes you up to it. I'm just gonna try to get a closer look since we're right here, and now that I can finally see stuff, let's do it. they've done a real nice job of marking this trail with the cairns. You know, it's real obvious where you need to go. You know, if they'd marked it this well at Arches yesterday by the windows, things probably wouldn't have gotten so dicey. All right, so here I am atop the back of the whale. And as I mentioned before, I was kind of on the fence about whether or not I wanted to do this hike, and you know, I'm glad I decided to do it. It's actually one of my favorite hikes that I've done on a trip so far. It was really neat. Great views up here. You know, it was a good length and, you know, uphill, but not overly strenuous, but there was some rock scrambling involved, so you know, that makes it sort of fun. But yeah, definitely worth the walk. All right, I'm gonna head back to the car and meet up with Dawn. So the audio tour that we listened to told us that when it rains and these pools form, that prehistoric scrimps hatch and live in there. So I don't know if they're microscopic or not. I've looked for them. I haven't seen them. I haven't seen no scrimps, but they say they're there. Here's the Paul Schaefer Canyon Overlook. Alright, so Dawn and I just left Canyonlands, and I'm a little sweaty, I'm wet, and I'm cold. For all the talk about this fog and rain, I haven't mentioned that it's actually cold too. It's 60 degrees here, which, you know, with the rain, it's pretty chilly. You know, Dawn's got a sweatshirt on, you know, under her jacket, and I got my jacket that I keep in my pack for like winter hiking. So, you know, it's that kind of weather. But, you know, I'm also very satisfied. You know, it was a good trip. You know, and I'm surprised at that too, because when we rolled up and first started after leaving the visitor center, I was thinking to myself, man, this sucks. You know, I thought for sure we'd be back, you know, tomorrow, because we wouldn't be able to really do anything, because all we could see at first was white and fog everywhere we went. But, you know, it broke up in pockets. We did a lot of cool stuff. I did some hikes. We got some great views. You know, did enough to where I'm satisfied that we've seen a good portion of the island in the Sky District. Now, did we see everything? No, of course not. You can never do it all in a day. You know, we could camp there for a month and still not do it all. But, you know, we did get a good taste, and, you know, give us an idea of what it's all about. And we saw some of the, you know, incredible scenery, you know, and trails, and, you know, what makes it, you know, deserving of a national park status. So, all right, now that that's done, you know, in this area is the Dead Horse Point State Park, which, you know, I've watched a lot of videos and stuff about it, and everyone raves about it. They say it's as good as any national park. It could be a national park. So, you know, it's right up the street. It's a 10-minute drive from here, so we're gonna go hit it up. It would be a shame to not see it. Hopefully, there's a view. I know it's the park's very reliant on being able to see the you know, the river and the bend and all that stuff. If we pay and it's fog, that'd be kind of sucky. But at least we'll say we tried. You know. All right, so let's go try and see what it looks like. We here at the visitor center and gift shop now, about to go in and get some information. We drove through the entrance station, paid the fee. It's $20 for a private vehicle, up to 8 people. But that actually gets you 2 days. You keep the receipt on the dash. You can come in the day of and the next day. So, you know, I think that's all right. All right, let's go in here and see what's going on. getting out of the Dead Horse Point State Park now. Unfortunately, the weather was not cooperative, and we had a lot of fog, so we really couldn't see much anything. We went to the actual Dead Horse Point overlook and walked up there, and you know, could see little pieces, you know, at first, but then it really rolled in thick, and you know, you could sort of just sense that there was something great down there to see, but you know, looking out, all we could see was whiteness. So you know, there's really only two places to park at the park, you know, at the visitor center and at the Dead Horse Point. There are several other overlooks, and they're connected through various hiking, biking trails between those two areas, and they look like pretty easy, you know, walking trails, paved, easy trails. But you know, we didn't want to, you know, invest time walking through them if we were just going to see again that same whiteness, you know, that we were seeing at the point. So rather than gamble on it, we're just going to head back to the campground and move on. But that's all right, because we'll see it again at some point, because we'll be back. The weather being what it was, we decided to head back to the campground and just have a chill night hanging out the Scamp, which turned out to be a really good call, because the next day we decided to take the drive after all to visit the Needles District. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please hit that like button, and if you'd like to follow along with us, please consider subscribing. Scamps like us, we were born to camp. Later.